Oh man, Bitcoin is breaking out. Can't keep up with Bitcoin today. So you would have just seen the video that just went out a couple of hours ago mentioning that Bitcoin is running, but altcoins are lagging behind. And Bitcoin's just gone on a tear and continued to run. Let's take a look. So Bitcoin, you remember in that video I said we've got this key resistance level here in this red box. But Bitcoin has just smashed through that in the last couple of hours, and I know exactly why, and a lot of people are missing why this has happened. I'm going to fill in the gaps very shortly. But first, let's take a look. You can see this pump straight up. Good 4-hourly candle there. And if I switch to the hourly, you will see this comprises of two really strong hourly pushes starting from 1 o'clock my time here in the UK, which is about 8 p.m. over in 8 a.m. over in America. So this is very interesting. Let me switch across to the daily. Now you'll see it's a bit messy because I've got my Fibonacci lines drawn in, which I want to show you. Let's see if I can show you this. So we can see here from the bottom to the top of the swing, we can see that we've broken through the golden pocket a while ago, 0.618, and now we're heading towards the upper bound, which is at 1.618, the Fibonacci level up here, which would give you a 61,000 almost Bitcoin. Okay, so that's on the 4-hourly chart. Now, if we were to remove that, and let's look at the same thing on the daily. And if we take it from swing low to swing high, which is what we want to do. So if we take that from the low there up to the high, you will see that on this view, we're in the golden pocket right now. So if we can break out of the top bound of this golden pocket, which is at 57,000, so that's the first price target is 57,000 on this upward run, then you could be seeing an upward case of 85 on the daily Fibonacci. So that's a very important level, 57. If we break 57, then obviously you've got your all-time high level, and then which is at 64K, and then you've got 85K on the Fibonacci. So really powerful moves here by Bitcoin. Now, before we spend some more time in the charts, there's one more thing I want to show you in the charts. Let's spend some time understanding what's going on. So why would Bitcoin, if we go to the hourly, why would Bitcoin suddenly pump here at this point and suddenly have two really powerful candles with high volume to break it through this resistance level? Well, what we had announced in America at 8:30, I think it was, a.m., American time, is we had the September private payroll. So the ADP payrolls came in high, and this is why a lot of people will give you technical analysis, right? And I'll try my best to give you technical as well, but nobody is providing this fundamental layer on top. People thinking, oh, we've hit a wedge, therefore it's gone up. No, the ADP job figures were released at the exact same time, and they beat estimates, meaning more jobs came into fruition than before. Now, we know the Fed chairman Jerome Powell said if we get some strong job figures, if we get the next proper one on Friday, but this is an indicator that the Friday one is going to be strong. And Fed chairman Jerome Powell said if we see a strong jobs figure, then we can expect a taper, right? And if we expect a taper, that means that we're seeing more persistent inflation. And that's what the market is worried about, right? Good job figures, more jobs, higher earnings, more inflation. That is a fear, and that's why people are rotating across to Bitcoin. Really important that we understand that. We can spend as much time as we want in the charts, but we need to understand that that move happened when this ADP figure was released, and we need to be able to tie those dots in. Okay, let's get back to the charts because we've got some exciting numbers going on here, and this breakout is really exciting because at the moment it's tearing through every single resistance level. 47,850, struggled for a little bit, broke through it. 50,000, didn't even blink, broke through it. Now through this level at 52,000, broke through it, sitting at 54,000 right now. The next level, like I showed you on the Fibonacci, is going to be your 57 mark. And if we can break the 57 mark, then you've got your 64,000 psychological level at the top of at the all-time high. So if we zoom back out, then you've got this level. Obviously, the 60K will be a psychological resistance. Then you're 64. But the Fibonacci swing shows an 84 all-time high based off of that. I also want to zoom out a little bit more into a weekly chart. So let's look at the weekly chart. It's not often we zoom out this much, but on a weekly chart, you can see with these violet purple lines, Bitcoin with that massive pump has just broken out of a symmetrical triangle wedge. Okay, so a really bullish moment here in this candle. A lot of things really did tie in perfectly for Bitcoin right now, and you couldn't have asked for a better resolution there because you were coming across a bunch of resistance, and I was even expecting a little bit of a cooling off, but you've managed to break out. And I think the catalyst of the jobs figure was perfect timing, because Bitcoin was just knocking at the door, the reading came out, and you just saw two massive hourly candles pushing us through. So on the weekly, that's where we're at. On the daily, let's remind you, this is where we're at. We've broken out of that wedge. We're supported by this line here, broken through this red resistance level, which was a resistance at 52 level, and now we're heading straight towards the 57 from the Fibonacci, and then the 60. Okay, so that's where we're looking at on Bitcoin right now. You can still see the altcoins are they've pared back some of their losses. Some of these were 6, 7, 8% down when we made the video a couple of hours ago. Obviously, Bitcoin jumping 5% now. Some of these have pared the losses, but they're not moving ahead of Bitcoin. And that's a really important trend to notice, because money is flowing into Bitcoin now. When Bitcoin moves, it truly moves. And I know a lot of people who are new to this crypto market aren't used to this, but this is what we've been saying for a long time. When Bitcoin decides to move, it will move fast, and it will move powerfully, and it will move quickly, and people want to rotate their money across. And these kind of pumps, please believe this isn't just due to retail, right? This isn't the average person like you and I. This is institutional people pumping money, and they're scared of inflation right now, and they understand that the job figures are recovering. Inflation is more persistent than we thought. We're getting a CPI reading on the 13th, and this could be a critical point for us, because that could either help this bull run or stop this bull run on Bitcoin when we get that CPI reading on the 13th, because either it's going to show that inflation is coming down or that it's high and persistent. If we get a high inflation reading than expectations, that is green lights ahead for Bitcoin to continue to tear. It's already tearing, but for it to continue to tear past 64 and create all-time highs, I think that could be perfect timing if we get good momentum between now and that CPI reading over the next kind of 5 or 6 days. That would be a brilliant setup for if we get a really high inflation figure. Bitcoin can see a lot of upside there. So really interesting time for Bitcoin, really critical move. And I think this is a really big moment for Bitcoin. It's been quiet for a very long period of time, but now all the indicators are tying up, whether it's on-chain metrics and technical analysis and the fundamentals in the macro economy. It's all lining up to say Bitcoin needs to be pumping higher. And it's pretty crazy to believe that just a little while ago in July, we were sat at a $30,000 Bitcoin, and now we're sitting back at 54 with the 64,000 all-time high in reaching distance. So really exciting time for Bitcoin. Such a volatile market, and I just can't keep up with these videos. So hopefully I can get this video rendered and out to you guys before we hit 60,000, right? So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these kind of timely TA updates on Bitcoin and why it's moving, why it's pumping, to give you some of that narrative behind it, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.